Calm down before you stress up the groove. The energy a little different when the blessings accrue. Hey, who you talking to? Just know I ain't no regular fool. Could be anything in the world, but I can never be you because I...
Hi, I'm Jasmine with Pedal Movement, and today I'm going to show you how to wash your bike. Now, not everybody has access to this awesome muck-off pressure washer, but I'm sure that you can get the job done with things you have at home. First, you're going to need a bucket, a sponge or two. Dishwashing works fine, but if you have something bigger, it will be easier. Some basic all-purpose soap, Degreaser, which you can get at your local bike shop or hardware store, an old toothbrush, some chain lube, and finally an old towel. And actually, don't put it all in the bucket, because you're going to need to fill that bucket with hot soapy water. Depending on how dirty your bike is, you might want to give it a quick rinse down before you get started. Be mindful of disc brakes if you have them. We find that these muck-off disc brakes covers are super useful to avoid contaminating your brakes and your pads. Next, we're going to degrease the drivetrain. Spray degreaser into a sponge, degrease up the whole entire chain and cassette, and then we're going to leave it there to sit while we move on to the rest of the bike. If you're using soap and water, start at the top of your bike, down to the bottom, and from the front to the back, wiping it down with your sponge. Unless you have a muck-off power washer.
I work too hard for it. No, I need to beat it before you mess up the mood. Yeah.
Some important places to pay special attention to are your brakes and rims, derailleurs, and the underside of your bottom bracket. Removing your front wheel makes it easier to get inside the blades of your fork, and the old toothbrush helps you get into some harder to reach areas. When you get to your chain, you may want to switch back to the old greasy sponge to get in there and give it a second scrub. Now that your bike is all clean, it's time to give it a final rinse. Just be careful not to spray directly into your bottom bracket or your headset. Other than that, bikes are meant to get a little wet. Now that the bike is clean, let's lubricate the drivetrain. For this, you might be tempted to use WD-40. Please don't. WD-40 is a water-based lubricant, and even though it might temporarily lubricate the drivetrain, over time, it will rust and ruin the whole thing. Use a bike-specific lubrication for this. Trust us. Take your chain lube and, touching the nozzle lightly to the chain, slowly spin the pedals in reverse to make sure you get some on every link. Make sure to keep it away from your brake pads and rims. Wipe off excess with a paper towel. And that's how you clean your bike. Cleaning your bike regularly helps it look awesome, helps the components last longer, and run smoother. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.